In this short video tutorial, we're going to look at labeling charts. And under labeling charts, we're going to look at adding chart titles, labeling axes, and adding data labels. So let's have a look at the data being displayed in this spreadsheet. We have weekly expenditure, and in each row we have weeks 1 to 4. And we have the items of expenditure in the columns, which are food, stationery, traveling, and miscellaneous. So we're going to insert a chart by selecting the data that we would like included in the chart. And in this case, we would like the weeks as well as the items of expenditure. We go into the insert ribbon, and on the insert ribbon we are interested in the charts dialog box. We can select recommended charts, and the software will automatically select or recommend for us the type of charts that best suit the type of data that we have selected. And we get a preview of how these charts are going to look or how they're going to appear. If we do not wish to utilize the recommended charts, we can go into the All Charts type and select any type of chart that we desire. So if we stick with the recommended charts, we still have access to the other charts. And here we have examples of the other charts that are available. So let's click the arrow here so that we can see the dialog box. And we're going to go with the first chart here that we have recommended. We are going to select clustered column and click OK. When we select OK, we can see that our data selected has been transformed or transcribed into a visual representation, which is the chart. Here we have the generic name, chart title. We can see here the amounts in figures, which represent the amount of spending. We can see our weeks displayed, which would have been weeks 1 to 4. And we have a legend at the bottom of the chart explaining what each bit of information or what each color code represents based on our data. If we click the addition sign, we can insert various chart elements. So here we see that axes and chart title, grid lines, and legend are selected. Let's deselect one of these. Let's deselect chart title. Let's deselect grid lines, and let's deselect legend. So without the labeling, this is how the chart would appear. Let's go back and insert axes, and let us assume that we would like to add a data label, and the data label would supply us with information on the source data in our chart. For example, week 1, $150 was spent on food. So here we have week 1, $150, and we can assume that this is food because the source data says 150. If you hover with your mouse, you can indeed see series food point 1 week 1 data label. If we add the legend, we are going to see that week 1 food, the amount spent of 150, which was our blue area, is on food. So if we add the chart title, we can click in the chart title area and type in our chart title. And our chart title gives us a broad idea of what data our chart contains. To resize the chart, we click in the top right hand, top left hand, bottom left hand or bottom right hand corner to resize diagonally or proportionately, both height and width at the same time, and we select the handle in the middle to increase the height of the chart, and the handle on the left or right to increase the width of our chart. So here we see a clustered column entered with the data, and we know that the axes, chart title, data labels, and legend are displayed. Let's add the axis titles. So on the vertical or y-axis, we know that this represents total spent on expenditure. So we're going to delete that by clicking in the box. And this is amount spent. And on the horizontal or x-axis, we are going to write time, which would be weeks 1 to 4. So here we have the amount spent over the time. So this chart has been labeled using a chart title, labeled y-axis, labeled x-axis, legends included, the legend, included, and we also have our data labels applied. So let's have a look at another type of chart which we may use to display another type of information. Let's say we would like to display the amount spent on food, and we want to display that using a pie chart. Here we see our pie chart inserted. We have food is the chart title. We want to change that to amount spent on food. And let's add a few elements to make this chart more understandable. So we're going to add data labels where we can see week 1, the weekly expenditure for week 1, which is blue, is $150, week 2, $100, etc. So depending on the data that you have to display, you can select the type of chart by going to the Insert ribbon, Chart menu. You can also add various chart elements depending on the chart selected. So in this chart, we were able to add 3 elements, whereas in the last chart we looked at, which was the clustered column, we were able to add quite a number of elements. Okay, so I hope this tutorial was easy for you to understand, and good luck with labeling your charts in Excel 2016.